Welcome to this edition of Sham Golf Academy Lessons. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please do so by clicking the button below. And don't forget to click the notification button as well. Today, I want to go back to the basic. I want to talk about the grip. It is one of the most important things in golf. How you hold the club really affects everything else you do in your swing. It is probably the most important thing you need to get right. If you're a golfer, you've observed many people, different grips, and they work differently. So each person has their preference. That's how they were taught. Sometimes it works, sometimes it leads to a certain tendency. You've observed that. Let me try to simplify this and try to help you find the right grip for you, because the grip that's right for me might not be right for you. There are three basic ways of holding the club for starters. There are three standard ways of holding the club. We have what we call the 10-finger grip, where all 10 fingers are on the grip, as you can see. 2, we have what we call the interlock, which is most popular, where you take your index finger on your left hand if you're right-handed and your pinky finger and interlock them. All right. And 3, there is the overlap grip, where you take your pinky finger and just put it on top of the of your index finger on your left hand if you're right-handed, and opposite if you're right-handed. So those are the 3 basic ways of just having holding the grip or holding the club. There is no good, there is no right, there is no perfect, there is none is better than the other. However, in my experience, most starters benefit by going with a 10-finger grip because that feels very natural to them. Starters, people beginners, children probably feel very comfortable with a 10-finger grip. Most adults will go with the interlocking. However, if you have very tall fingers and bigger hands, you might prefer the overlap. So that's the basic ways of holding the club. So let's get to the technical parts of a good grip. What makes a good grip, regardless whether it's 10-finger, whether it's interlock, whether it's overlap. I teach it in 2 different ways depending on the students I'm working with. Number 1, I'll just tell the student to hold their club in front of them, making sure the toe of the club is pointing directly at them. Hold with your right hand the middle of the shaft. Get your fingers, get the grip on your fingers. All right, now move closer so that you can see. Wrap your fingers around the grip and get this thumb pointing straight up. You'll do the same thing with your right hand and just slide it down until it touches. We want again the fingers wrapping around the grip, and we have this middle part of the club, which is called the lifeline. Just get that lifeline over your thumb, and that's what we call a neutral grip. All right. And the other way you do it is just place the club on the ground. Most clubs have a logo or a line in the middle. So get the fingers on the grip, wrap your hand right there. So you want to avoid having the grip on your palm. So that's why we're putting it in the fingers. Get the thumb pointing straight down. Take your right hand, mostly in your fingers again. Wrap it and make that sure that lifeline is right over this thumb. And I always tell people with the right hand, we don't want the thumb straight down, we want it on the side. So the easy way to remember this is, remember, with your right hand you want to count the money. See that? So you want your thumb and your index finger to be there like as if you're counting the money. And that is what we call a neutral grip. That's a natural, what most everybody should start with. All right? Things you need to notice on your neutral grip is that this V here kind of points to your right shoulder. The V on your left hand points to your right shoulder. The V on your right hand also points to your right shoulder. Another checkpoint is to make sure that when I have a neutral grip, I can only see two of my knuckles on my left hand, and I can only see two of my knuckles on my right hand. All right? You want to feel the butt of your club and this meaty part of your hand here feeling like it's on top of the club. You can see that? You don't want it in your palms because then that meaty part will be on the side of your club. So those are the things you need to look at when you're setting and getting your grip. Stick to the grip being in your fingers mostly, that left finger pointing straight down. Get on the right hand as well, in your fingers, the lifeline right over your left thumb, and count your money. See two knuckles on your left hand, see two knuckles on your right hand. You'll have a neutral grip. Let's talk about grip pressure. On my left hand, I want to feel the pressure on these three fingers, the pinky and from the middle finger to the pinky. That's where I want to feel most of my pressure on my grip. On my right hand, I really want to feel a lot of pressure on these two fingers, the ring finger and the middle finger. All right? That's where I want to feel the pressure. On a scale of 1 to 10 for iron shots and driver, you need to be at a 4. If you grip it at a so hard, let it not pass a 5. So you don't want to hold the club with your dead grip. All right, you want it light enough so that you can be able to feel the weight of the club head as you swing, but strong enough so that it doesn't fly out of your hands when you swing. Grip pressure 4. If you go too far, 5. It will really allow you to get as much power through the ball, because then the weight of the club head works for you. You're not trying to control it as much. All right? Let's talk about something else that comes up from most golfers. This is also regarding to the grip. I've talked about the neutral grip. All right. So if there's a neutral grip, then you've heard about a weak grip, and you've heard about a strong grip. Again, no right, no wrong. However, your tendencies will allow you, if you understand your tendency, to allow you to choose one or the other. It will allow you to play with your grip so that you can find the right grip for you. All right. So what is a weak grip? What is a strong grip? Let me start with a strong grip, because that's what I see most amateur golfers gravitating towards. With a strong grip, it just means, and before I go, why is it called strong or weak? In golf, we want to make our left hand more in control than our right hand. Our left hand is more dominant. We want it to be the one guiding, because our hands in golf are only used to guide the club. We're not using our hands for power. So we want our weaker hand, which is our left hand, to be in control of that process, because if you let the right hand take charge, then it will start doing its own things. All right. So the strong grip, it means you made your strong hand more active in your swing. That's why it's called a strong grip. You are holding the club in a way that makes you feel you have more power. But that is just because you feel like your right hand is gonna be more effective in giving you the power through the swing. So what's the difference? We talked about this. You can see is my neutral grip. With a strong grip, you'll see a lot of people getting their right hand under the club. So you'll see a lot of their thumb there. And that is, people feel like I'm hitting the ball with the right hand. So this is the position where I can really deliver the club as hard as possible to the right hand. Okay? So the more you turn your right hand, and sometimes even your left hand to your right, the stronger your grip is. Okay? But what is the tendency of a strong grip? The tendencies of a strong grip is that you will most likely draw the ball. And most of the times for most people, they can't control that draw. So sometimes it turns into a hook. All right? So be aware, if you are hooking or drawing your ball too much, you might have a very strong grip. So your remedy is really to try to get back to neutral by especially turning your right hand to your left. All right? So from there, just try to turn your right hand to your left, covering your thumb. Okay? So play with that and see if that helps you get your ball out there straighter and farther. So if a strong grip is when you have your right hand feeling like it's under the club and turned to the right, what is a weak grip? A weak grip is basically the opposite of that, where your hands are now too far to the left. Okay? So now if you look at this, V is pointing right at my chin. Okay, this is the neutral right there. A weak grip, the hands will be more turned. Either one or both of the hands will be turned more left, right to left. Okay? And again, the tendency of this, what's the tendency of a weak grip is a lot of slicing, a lot of left to right with your ball. So if you find that you are slicing a lot, try to move your grip to your right, either to neutral or to a little bit strong, and see if that helps with keeping your ball straight and further down the fairway. Again, there are other factors that affect whether you draw or hook or you slice the ball. But as a coach, the first thing I look at is your grip, because it's the easiest thing to change. Okay? So if you try different grips and you're still having a ball behave one certain kind of way that you don't like, find a qualified coach near you and let them look at the swing, at the whole swing, and see what else you need to correct. I hope you've learned something about the grip today. There's no right, there's no wrong. There are pros who play with a strong grip. There are pros at the highest level who play with a weak grip. There are pros who play with a neutral grip. So there is no right, there is no wrong. There are pros who have 10 finger grip, there are pros who have an interlock, there are pros who have overlap. No right or wrong. Don't ever go to somebody who tells you there is one way to grip. You have to experiment based on what, if you're experienced golfer, you have to play with the grip now that you understand it, see what's the right adjustment you need to make to get the shots you want. For beginners, I'll always start with a neutral grip. And after they've learned and they've gotten used to playing, then we will work on adjusting the grip. But I will always start with a neutral grip. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching.